Skylar Maya, and welcome to WTKN Channel 8 News Program, Inquisitive Corner. Thank you for joining us today. We have a very special guest. Please give a round of applause for Senator Marie Pinkney, who represents the 13th District, which stretches from the Christiana River south to Red Lion Road. Hello, Senator Pinkney. Welcome to our program. How are you doing today?
Hi, Maya. Good morning. I am good. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you. How are you?
Good. Could you please tell our Thunderbird family a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Well, my name is Marie. Sometimes people call me Senator Pinkney, but my name is Marie. I am a Delawarean. I graduated from Howard High School. After I graduated from Howard, I went to Norfolk State University, HBCU in Virginia. I'm a social worker by trade, so when I graduated from Norfolk State, I moved back home to Delaware and became a social worker. Spent a couple of years working with teenagers who had substance abuse problems and mental health problems. And then after that, I started working at Christiana Hospital, where I still work today, and I ran for office in 2020, and so now I am also a state senator. Also, I like to lift weights, and I do Kung Fu on the side too.
Thanks for sharing that information. I want to ask you a few more questions if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
So what does a senator do?
Thank you for that. That is a big question because we do a little bit of a lot of different things. One of the most important things that senators do is make laws. So when you think about laws and the rules that we're allowed to live by here in Delaware, I am one of 62 people who helped to make those. So we try to make laws that make people's lives a little bit better, a little bit easier, that help people out of the problems that they're solving. We try to do things that help the school that you guys go to. Part of what we do is deal with funding. So we deal with the money. So we help to give money to schools so you guys can have amazing programs like this. We allocate money to build buildings, and we do things as small as help people get potholes fixed in their neighborhoods. So senators do a lot of things, but those are some of the big ones.
What is the main purpose of a senator?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think the main purpose is to be a voice for our community. So one of the things that I have to do to become a senator is run for office. So I have to get a lot of people to vote for me and say that they want me to be my senator. And by doing that, that means that I am agreeing to represent them as a voice down in Legg Hall and Dover where I work. And so I think one of the main parts is being a voice for all of the people who said that I was able to be their senator.
How long have you been a senator?
That's a good question. I have only been a senator since 2020. So do you remember when we voted for President Biden and Vice President Harris? Yeah. Remember that election? I got elected on the same night that they got elected back in 2020.
Thank you for working for the people who live in Delaware. What are some obstacles that you deal with as a senator in office?
Yeah, you ask really good questions. You know that? Some of the obstacles that I deal with are trying to get people to agree on things. So I said that we make laws, and those are really important laws, but not everybody agrees on what they should look like. So sometimes if you have people that have different opinions or different values that we have, than the people that I represent have, sometimes it's a little difficult to get them to understand why they should vote for something or support a big bill. Some of the difficult things too, one of the things that I don't like the most that we don't really talk about is that we have to raise money to be senators. So when I have to talk to people and make sure that they know who I am, I have to raise a lot of money to do that, and I do not like raising money. It's annoying. You remember those like pizza fundraisers that you guys do in school? It's like a big pizza fundraiser, but every day and a lot of money, so I don't like that so much. I think some of the difficult things too are that we represent so many people that sometimes it's hard to talk to everybody and reach everybody, which is something that I think is important, but not always easy. And there's like never enough time to do all the things, so there's always something else that I'm supposed to be doing too.
What is something that you have to be a senator?
Something that you have to have. I think that's a really good question. I would say good values. You have to care about people and what happens to them. You have to care about people's families and people's experiences. And I don't think if you don't have that, if you don't care about what happens to people, you're not going to be a very good senator, because what we do is represent people.
What makes you a good senator?
You asked the best questions. I think what makes me a good senator is that I care about people. You know, I was a social worker first because I wanted to make sure that people were getting the help that they need. So when I work with teenagers, I wanted to make sure that they had somebody that was listening to them, that they had somebody that they felt safe talking to. When I work at the hospital and I was working with people, sometimes I would work with people who got in car accidents or people who were victims of gun violence, and I cared about what happened to them, and I wanted to make sure that they were going to be okay after the things that they experienced. And so doing those same things as a senator, I think, is what makes me a good senator, is genuinely trying to be an advocate and a voice for the people who elected me and even the people who didn't, because I still represent them too.
And finally, what is the process of becoming a senator in Delaware?
Yeah, so remember when I said I do like a big pizza fundraiser all the time? So that's one of the processes, because we need money to reach people, which is the debatable thing of whether or not it's good or bad, but it's part of the gig. And then once we have that ability on the side of that, we also have to go knock on people's doors. We have to make sure that people know who we are. We want to make sure people know why we're running for office and what we plan on doing when we get down there. So we do that by knocking on their doors, by calling people, by texting people, by talking to people on Facebook and Instagram, even TikTok sometimes. So those are kind of the fun things that we get to do to reach people. After that, once we've reached a whole bunch of people, we spend all year doing that, and then we get to Election Day, which was when we talked about whether or not we voted for President Trump or President Biden. And I do that same thing. So people go down to that voting box, and if they liked what I said and what I stand for, then they vote for me. And then you stay up all night and you wait for the people in the Department of Elections to count all the votes. It was 3,000 votes, and they counted all of those, and then we decide we figure out whether or not we won after they count all those votes.
So what you're saying is that one day I could run for senator?
I am absolutely saying that, and if it's something that is interesting to you and exciting to you, please do it, because we need you there too.
Thank you, Senator Pinkney, for joining us today, and thank you, Thunderbird family, for watching. I'm Skylar Meyer for WTKN Channel 8 News Program, and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.